This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Now this is a really cool little thing. I've got a few things that I think you might find interesting about this. So this is a Fender Pro Reverb. It belongs to my friend Jake Bluesmall, owner of incredible amps. He's got a couple of Two-Rocks, although he sold one of them. He did have a Lazy J, and this recently came into his possession. Now there's a really cool story. There's the Fender Pro Reverb. This one in particular belonged to probably a famous guitarist whose name sounded a bit like Gabe Dillmore, because it was sold to a shop by his tech. And yeah, it's got EV-M12S speakers in it. Aside from that though, it is a Fender Pro Reverb. So that part of the story cannot be officially corroborated because the shop didn't particularly want to send Jake any proof of that. In really quite good condition. Now the other really cool part of this story is that this is a 1965 Pro Reverb, and it gets even cooler than that actually. So if you go inside here, you'll see that the serial number is number 1. This is the production number 1 that came off the production line in 1965. Presumably the first production Pro Reverb ever made, right? Is that a thing? Which is pretty incredible. Now, it is only a 40 watt amp. So the Pro Reverb apparently was kind of the black sheep of the family at the time, because people were wanting, you know, amps that could go super loud at the time. This is before, you know, big PA systems and stuff. So the Fender Twin was like the more popular choice back then. This being like the half-powered Twin, you know, 40 watts, it's a bit of a different thing, right? It's also, I think, the same circuit as a Vibreverb, which is what was interesting to Jake about it initially, until he found out the rest of the story as well. He's paid a really good price for it without any of those other two things being true. The fact that this is number one from 1965, you'd imagine that he should have actually paid quite a bit more for this, frankly. Really cool amp. The AA165 is, I think, the name of the circuit. I found out relatively recently that quite a lot of the circuitry within all of the Fender amps is the same, which kind of makes sense to me now that I've played a few, that they've all got quite a very similar characteristic. They're just going out through different power sections to some extent or another. So it does the thing that you expect it to do, you know, really big splashy reverb, bright kind of scooped tones, beautiful cleans. It takes pedals better than I expected. Was apparently part of the wall rig, but didn't get used. It doesn't look like it's been gigged, so I think probably what really happened is it was bought potentially to be used as part of a rig and was never really needed, and then by the look of it probably sat in storage for many years. I think it still has most of the original tubes in it as well. There's some mullards and stuff like that in there. Pretty incredible. Anyway, let's just play some guitar into it, I guess. One of the things that people apparently like about these now is that you can get into the kind of breakup territory quicker than you could with a Twin. Now, I don't think that's probably a bit overplayed, because even at like 3 on the volume on here, it's incredibly loud. So I don't think for most people on most stages around the world that the Pro Reverb, if you're looking for breakup tones, would be the way to go. If you're looking for big cleans though and an immediate response, it's really pretty cracking. So So, as you'd expect, the reverb, if I put it above 3, and if you turn the reverb up more, so it does the things that Fenders are known for, right? That really huge splashy reverb. The thing that surprised me a little bit was that it took the dude pedal really well. So here's the clean again. And aside from that, you know, it's your normal kind of Fender thing. So you turn your bass and treble down, you get a bit more MIDI. So although you don't have a mid control, all you have to do really is just turn the bass and treble down a bit to affect the balance of that. I'm not going to be able to push this loud enough to get any gain, I wouldn't think. No, so that's at 4 and that's very much too loud. But I don't think that's going to be necessary. There's plenty of brightness there, isn't there? And we had the other channel, which I presume is going to sound quite similar. But doesn't have the reverb. Might even be a bit more immediate, but yeah, a vibrato channel where you get the reverb. What you heard in the intro was me playing with a tube screamer. So I'll just do that again for you here. So I've got a TS10 here. Got the drive at about 35%, 45%, tone about halfway, level, pushing a bit. So I think you would agree, quite a special sounding amp, a really cool story to this one, even if it isn't provable, but #1 Pro Reverb that came off the production line in 1965, still sounds glorious to this day. Pretty much original, I think, except for having two EVM12 S speakers in it, which make it the heaviest amp that I've played in a while. That dog's having a mental one. Catch you in another video. Or something. Shut up, Ruben. Let me know if you've ever played a Pro Reverb, or let me know if you've got a favourite Fender amp that you gravitate towards that I need to check out. Probably a bit loud for me, this one. Cheers, Jake.